What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen. And we are back again, guys, for episode 3 of Culers Culture, ladies and gentlemen. Barcelona show, guys. We got a full house today, man. Listen, obviously it was going to be a full house, man, because you know what it is. I mean, this is going to be a great episode. It's going to be good moods, good vibes today. There's not going to be any negativity. Because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Cup number 2 is in the bag, guys. Once again, I told everyone to believe, man. We are here today, man. We're here to celebrate our second trophy of the season. And our second trophy we took away from those Madridistas, man. We're going to get into all of it, guys. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We got like over 18 people, man. People are already in here. Big up to everyone. But before we get started, guys, first of all, I need to do some house cleaning, guys. First of all, let's introduce the guest. Man like Barcaboy in the building. What's going on, Hafed, my brother?
I'm doing fantastically well, of course. I'm still recovering my voice from yesterday, and I'm still reminiscing. I've watched the Kunde goal now about like 4,000 times. I got like on loop on the TV in front of me, just playing in the background all day. It's good, man. It's good. Job not done yet, though.
Oh, we'll definitely get into all of that, but next up, making his debut on Culers Culture and on Omar BYT, Footballingo is in the building. What's going on, Footballingo?
What's going on? I'm doing fantastic as well, bro. Thank you for having me. And yes, like Barca boy, I was celebrating maybe a little too hard, watching all the reels back and forth, celebrating all the way, man. It's good to be here.
Oh, absolutely, man. We're definitely going to talk about it. But another one making his debut on the channel as well, man. Everyone is making their debut this week, man. We got BarcaVolume in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me. I had a blast last night. You guys don't believe this. I watched the game twice already. I didn't even want to go to bed last night, watching all the videos and all the TikToks and all the freaking Twitters, man. Hey, 32 Copa del Rey's, Barcelona is the king of Spain. That is just plain and simple. Thierry Henry, right? He said it. Everybody's afraid of Real Madrid. Real Madrid is afraid of Barcelona. And we have put him in crisis. That's definitely what happened last night.
Oh, it was beautiful to see, man. And finally, of course, you guys know him. He's a regular on the channel. Regular on this channel, man. My like Jonas, Barcareact. What's going on, bro?
Yo, listen. Of course I'm doing fine. You know what I'm saying? Thank God for everything. But, man, I can't lie. Yo, what was it, Saturday? I don't even know what day it is. So it was Saturday. That was a beautiful Saturday day. You know what I'm saying? I thought at 2-1, yo, treble might be over. But you know what? Ferran said nah. And Kunde, he iced the cherry on top. And, bro, I'm feeling good. I can't lie. You thought I was going to miss this one. I'm not missing this one, guys. It's got to be a show.
Hey, listen, man. Yeah, I know, right? Because they're like, no, we're not missing this show. But listen, big up to every single one of you guys. And we got the people in the building. Big up to my brother, Warrior J, every single time. Big up NJ every single time. Yeah, we're definitely going to get into all of this for sure, man. Big up to NJ. He says they can hold that. Yeah, listen, man, absolutely. He says they can hold that saying we've been too loud. Broski, you guys were loud last year. Exactly. It's crazy, isn't it, man? It's crazy how things can change in 12 months. Like, it's crazy, isn't it? Like 12 months ago, we were sitting there watching these Madridistas be loud on YouTube. And now they don't want to keep the same energy, man. Life is funny, man. Life is such a funny.
Now they're making fun of us for celebrating. And they celebrated last year like crazy.
Bro, they had a super team last season. They needed 2 last-second goals to beat us. Like, come on, we beat them in style. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. Honestly, bro. Last year, bro. Well, why are they acting like they weren't celebrating? I was seeing Bellingham reels everywhere, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Dude, Chouameni,
we could not stay away. We could not escape it, could we? Like, as fans.
It's so dumb. Like, they're celebrating like we're not coming back. Bro, they're celebrating because they just beat your ass. They're celebrating because they are the king of Spain. They just beat you 3 times this year. You expect them not to celebrate? They act like they're not going to celebrate had they won this Copa del Rey.
They're all look at all the reaction when the score was 2-1 as well. At the end of the day, last
losers.
Oh my days, guys! Yesterday when it went 2-1, my channel, I think I did like my highest peak of like people on my stream when, and it's always that, isn't it? Like people are
Yeah.
always there, bro. These guys were more than happy. You would think, like, this is what I was saying. I didn't even, when they scored the second, everyone was expecting me to start fuming. I was like, listen, until I hear the final whistle, I'm not discounting anything. And I said, you guys came, you counted your chickens too early, and now it is my turn to cook. And trust me, guys, I cooked on my match reaction. I cooked. Because at the end of the day, man, it's time to put these clowns in their place. Because listen, you know what it is? You know what made the victory yesterday much better? It's just, if you've seen Madrid the whole season, we have, right? How much of a crybaby this club has been throughout this season, right? Complaining, bro. These guys were already complaining before Akbar was even kicked. You understand what I'm saying, right? I knew. I was like, bro, when we win, you know how these guys are going to be. And listen, I'm not even talking about their fans. The fans are fine. It's even better because it's the club itself that is actually like crying. You understand what I'm saying, right? You're seeing Florentino Perez 1 in the morning before the start of the game. And then during the game, when Kunde scored, these guys started crashing out. I sat there, I was like,
Crashing out. Oh my god, that was
great.
beautiful, bro.
Bro, I'm not even kidding. It was so beautiful to just see these guys just mentally like, like they just started mentally breaking down. You started seeing Rudiger trying to assault the referee. I'm like, brother,
Yo, that was
these guys are actually rattled, But listen, I'm gonna ask even every single one of you because obviously, me, I don't think BarcaVolume and Footballingo did a watch along, but I did. I know you did, Hafed, and I know you did,
I
Leonis, right?
couldn't, man.
I did.
I was
I
on
did
the edge
watch.
of my seat. I couldn't have people watching me. Like I was just losing my mind. And my wife, she don't really watch, but she's next to me, right? So she's like on TikTok, and she's like, "Are you okay?" At some point when it was 2-1, and I'm like, "No, you just don't realize what's happening right now. It's just like freaking the biggest game of the season, and a game where we're heavy favorites, and it's so hard for us to somebody who doesn't know what's going on, and I don't think I could have like people watching. Like I'm literally like on the floor.
Yeah, hey,
I'm
listen,
like,
watch alongs
come
not
on,
for
guys,
everybody.
come on, let's go. We can do this. It's like 10 minutes left. We still can do this. Like, don't give up. And like, I saw the team was so tired. And dude, I swear to God, like I did like 3 laps around my living room. When Ferran Torres, like I didn't even like I blacked out. I didn't even know who passed to
I
Ferran
faded
Torres at
on
first.
my video too.
And
No,
dude,
so
can you imagine
Miguel,
being live?
Miguel, you know what's funny? Because yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't as hysteric as I should have been because I was actually not alone in my house and I didn't want to bother like the people in the house. So I had to like restrain myself. But brother, you can just imagine in my head just how crazy I would have
You
gone.
gotta do what
bro.
I do, man.
Like
You gotta give
I saw your reaction. It's
you
crazy
gotta give
because I
like
was
you
watching
have to
your
give a house
reaction.
a warning. I told everyone in the house, go over there, fine. You hear me yelling, just ignore me.
I would leave people watching this the back of my screen, and I'd just be running around my house, sprinting for that tying goal that just tied everything, and just like,
bro.
oh
I'm
my
not
You know
gonna
what's
lie.
crazy?
When we equalized, I don't know. I felt. You know what's funny, right? There was something very odd about yesterday's game. I'm definitely gonna ask every single one of you guys your reactions, right? But for me, when we were 2-1 down, I was strangely calm. You understand what I'm saying, right? I wasn't panicking.
dude.
I wasn't thinking, "Oh yeah, we screwed this up. It's over. The match is over." For some reason, I was very calm. I was like, "I don't know, man. I feel like we'll get a goal here. I feel like this game is not over." So when we got the equalizer, I'm like, "Bro, I expected it." For some reason, I knew we were going to equalize. And the crazy thing is, everyone in my chat was sitting there saying, "Oh, it's going to go to pens. Going to go to pens. It's definitely going to pens." I said, no.
I don't
Because you know why? I feel like,
man.
no, I didn't either. But also, I just knew something was going to happen. I just felt it. I was like, bro, somebody's going to score. Somebody's going to score.
Extra time
Someone will
nowadays,
score here.
especially in like in high intensity games, there is always like a goal in it at the absolute most.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the way the second half ended, something told me it was going to continue an extra time. So I was like, watch this space. We handled it well in the first half of extra time because we were getting pumped. But the second half of extra time, we actually started going forward. And long behold, I'm not going to lie, when Kunde stepped up for that, and I knew he was going to shoot. You know how I felt? I think it was the same feeling that City fans felt when Company took that shot against Leicester. I was just sitting there like,
Yeah.
no, Kunde, don't do it. Don't do
I
it, Kunde. Because
definitely
I'm in
think
my head
had
like,
we gone
Kunde,
to penalties,
your attacking prowess is not good enough. I'm sorry. You're defensively, you are a rock as a fullback, right? We're going forward. I don't trust you. I'm like, dude, you're gonna shoot this and it's not gonna go anywhere, bro. He blasted the shit out of that ball when he scored.
it's a title goal,
I
bro.
nearly
Like
went off,
plain and
but I,
straight. I don't
but I,
think. I think Madrid would have had the edge in penalty kicks because Courtois, and not only Courtois, dude, how many times has Madrid gone to PKs in the Champions League or any other
Mhm.
competition? They always seem to just go on top. Like they just always never seem to lose these kind of situations, and they actually had the better shooters too. I think Barcelona didn't have their best kickers either. Like I don't think we have such a clinical
yeah,
penalty kick
Lewandowski wasn't
takers as
playing.
Real Madrid would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Lewandowski
the thing.
wasn't there. Ferran got subbed out for Pau Victor, right? So it was just Rafinha
Mhm.
and
Even
I
Pedri
think
got subbed out.
yeah, it
Pedri
was
got
just
said.
I
I
think
mean, to be
it was
fair,
I think it was
to be
Rafinha.
fair, I wasn't happy. I'm not gonna lie, right? When Omar got taken off. Now, here's the thing. I haven't heard. Thankfully, I haven't heard anything today. I don't know about you, Hafid, right? But I haven't heard that anything is wrong with Omar because people were thinking that because he had that nasty tackle, Chouameni give him that nasty tackle, and he was down for a while. People thought that he might be injured, and thank God he continued playing. But I haven't heard any news today, so I'm guessing everything is cool. You understand what I'm
Yeah, he's
saying?
fine.
Yeah.
He just
I'll
didn't
wait
lose
for
the
tomorrow
game.
when the teams come back to training, and we'll see. I think right now even the media is on, partying and celebrating the win too. So there's been like nothing
Yeah.
coming out.
No, he
But
looked upset for coming off, so I think it's not an injury related thing.
You know what it is with Danny Olmo? I'm not gonna lie, that guy took some punishment because the referee, honestly, they should have got 3 or 4 yellow cards in like 90 minutes, but he just kept letting it slide. You know what I'm saying? Danny Olmo, the amount of times that he couldn't have a good game, they just kept on fouling, and the ref never booked the player, so they just kept on doing it.
Yeah,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
I
Chouameni's
think
tackle on Danny Olmo
I
would have
think the
been
reason behind that for me, and before you go, Lingo, I think the reason behind that is
That
because
pissed
I
me
think
off.
Madrid realized he was going to be if we were going to win the game, everything was going to run through him. Because let's be real, when Omo plays, we usually like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
he's the creative part. He does everything. He can shoot, he can cross, he can pass, he can find a man. You understand what I'm saying? Like he
yeah.
contributes something different, and I feel like the Real Madrid understood that, and that's why they targeted him specifically. You understand what I'm saying? And listen, Aurelian Chouameni was being reckless yesterday. He could have easily gotten sent off the amount of reckless tackles he made in the game, right? But listen, I'm gonna say this because I do want to hear every single one of you guys' opinions, right? So I'm gonna start with you first of all, Hafid, right? Because obviously you were doing a watch along, right? Tell me your whole emotions throughout that game, bro. Like, because I saw your reactions to all the goals. You were going nuts for every one of them, bro.
First half was very, very comfortable. I think Madrid only ended up entering our final third about 4 times, and 2 of them they were offside. So first half was comfortable. The first 5 minutes of the second half was comfortable as well. Then afterwards, of course, Madrid started to get chances in behind. Their attacking transitions were much more stronger and effective. At that point, I was screaming at Flick to make changes. I was thinking the first thing that has to happen is Gabby to come in to bring some more energy and tenacity. I don't know who you would sub off, probably. I think at the time, 1-0 up, you probably would sacrifice Olmo. And then, of course, Frankie pulls Mbappe back. I think that's a smart move, especially with the cover being there. Take the easy yellow card. Mbappe gets his free kick goal, which again is a bit unfortunate. We conceded now, 4 goals to Madrid this season?
I saw it
And,
coming, dude. Did you see it
and
coming?
yeah,
I
and 3 of them were set
I
pieces.
just think the wall wasn't set up properly. I think I was
Yeah,
complaining about the wall. I'm like, man, that doesn't look right. They should be communicating more and more. And then he just kicked
I
it.
felt a bit more confident that Chelsea was in goal, not in Penny. But both the free kicks we conceded to Madrid this season were at the near post. So, and even the corner kick
Yeah,
was a free header for Chouameni, because Kunde,
Yeah.
funnily enough, failed to mark him. After 2-1, I'm thinking it's Madrid's game. They've been the better team in the second half. That half an hour period, they were dominating us. And I was thinking at that point that it's probably over, barring a miracle. And then, of course, the miracle happened. The Fernando Torres goal, of course, came out of absolutely nowhere. We had no build-up play. I think Lamine Yamal picked up the ball on the right-hand side, just whipped in a ball over the top. Courtois with a mistake, pulled the Ter Stegen. That's what I said in my live stream as well. The first thing I said was he pulled the Ter Stegen. Because Ter Stegen do that so many times. And then you go into extra time. I think it's tight. I think in extra time in a top game, there's 1 goal in at the absolute most. I thought going into 90 minutes, it was going to go into penalties. That's what I thought. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it looked like even Flick was preparing subs for extra time as well. You saw Ansu Fati and Pau Victor warming up. And again, the Kunde goal, just like the Ferran Torres goal, came out of absolutely nowhere. When he landed for the shot, I was like, okay, let's see. I think if he put it anywhere I thought it was going to be blocked. Again, like half our shots are always blocked. But I'm thinking at least if you just put this on target, anything can happen, right? And as it rolls past like the defensive line, I'm thinking, holy shit, this is actually on target. And then it beats Courtois, and I absolutely lost my head. After that, I knew we were gonna hold on. The fact that we gave away the Gabby penalty really, really triggered me. I'm thinking, oh, you can't hold on to a lead for 3 minutes. You have to,
No, oh, bro, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was a
God.
bad tackle from Gabi.
Well, if you look at the replay, to be fair to him, he takes, of course, it back.
It was a perfect
He
tackle.
does get the ball first.
He
He
actually-
does get the ball first, but
He
it's a
does get
pen.
the ball he gets the ball first, but he goes from behind, so it's going to be a penalty. So thankfully, he was offside. But again, Barcelona would have argued it that he got the ball, which he fully did. He didn't. I don't even think he even got him back, but the fact he went in behind is where the penalty fair comes in. And then after that, I don't think Madrid had any chance. We'll take
you know
take
what
the
it
Air
is?
Garcia dive as well.
Yeah, bro. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I was saying the first half was good, but I feel like I wasn't satisfied because we didn't pepper Courtois with like a bunch of saves to make. You know what I'm saying? We were dominating, we were controlling it. We got our goal 1-0, but I just felt like, remember, it's Real Madrid. They scored in bunches, and what happened in the second half? They scored in bunches, and I was thinking, is it going to be one of those days where Barcelona are dominant and they don't get the win? But you know what? This team, I'm actually proud of this team. This team's actually impressive because now it's not a fluke. It's been too many times. I like Celta Vigo, right? Atletico Madrid, when the game that we're down 2-0 and we score 4 straight in their building when they're parking the bus. There's too many times that this team comes back out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a fluke anymore. You know what I'm saying? So I credit Hansi Flick there. You know, the players, they actually believe, you know, it's a saying, we fight till the final whistle. But these players are actually doing that. You know, they're not just saying it. So big up to the manager, bro. I feel like Hansi Flick, sometimes the game's not always going to go your way, but it's how do you react, bro? He did amazing.
Yeah. The resilience we've shown this season has just been incredible. The amount of comebacks we've made, like time and time again. When, you know, I get flashbacks. So like when we were facing against Dortmund, we're like, oh man, is this gonna be like a replay of Anfield? Like when Tchouaméni scored that goal, and it was like, it's Real Madrid, it's final. Are we gonna implode like, you know, we've done in like Champions League in the past years? And
Facts.
thank God, man. Like the resilience we've shown, like I said, amazing. The goal from Ferran Torres, I saw Ferran Torres run, right? I'm like, please get there. And he gets there. I'm like, please just take a shot anywhere on the target. He goes around the goalkeeper. I'm biting my nails, like literally. And I was like, finally he scored. The relief I felt, that, oh man, it showcased like how we can bounce back from, you know, going behind. And it's been proven throughout the season. So I'm really happy from the result.
Dude, call me crazy, but I thought Ferran, the touch was a little soft, and I was just
I
like,
was scared, man. I was really scared.
and I just
I
kept
thought-
thinking like, oh my god, dude! I didn't even think he hit it like he wanted to. I thought, you know, he was a little softer for a minute, but I'm just so happy that Rudiger was like on one leg and
Yeah.
he's able to
And
get
honestly, the reaction by the whole bench, I was like, yo, this cup final is absolutely hype, bro. Like,
Well, you can tell they wanted, like, you can tell the players, the team wanted this trophy. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying, right? Because I think mentally, Hansi Flick must really be draining on them that, guys, we could potentially win the treble. We are only 2 trophies away, and we're at the top of the table. We're in the semifinals. This is the first trophy to that step now. You understand what I'm saying, right? And here's the thing. I agree with everything that you guys said. Watching the game, right? In the first half, bro, first half was so easy for us. These guys could not even muster a shot in the game, let alone a shot on target.
3 goals.
Right? We scored a goal. We got what we deserved. We got the goal. And truth be told, we could have scored more. Right? We could have scored more, and we should have got a second. That was my worry in the game, watching it. I was sitting there saying to myself, we need a second. Like,
Yeah.
Rafinha had 2 golden opportunities in that second half before this equalized. Where I'm like, Rafinha, brother, bro, you are giving me the vibes of last season, bro. You understand what I'm saying, right? Like, I'm gonna be very real, man. He's had his moments this year, but I genuinely think he's really cooled off in the second half of the season, for sure. You understand what I'm saying? And he should have put us 2-0 up. And I said, brother, if we don't score soon, these guys will equalize. And you mentioned it, the free kick for me. This is it with Mbappe. Mbappe stinks at free kicks. I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. People are gonna be sitting there looking at the two free
That was
kicks
his
he
first
scored
one.
against
That
Leganes.
was his first one,
No, that's
literally,
the second.
literally the first one.
That's the second.
That was
The first one was
a
again.
double touch. So
No,
No,
officially,
that one was
the
in-
first
that
one
was
doesn't count.
The
The one
first one
against
doesn't
Getafe
count.
or whatever it was.
But that's the thing. You guys have proven my point.
that's why I
At the
wasn't
end of
so
the day,
worried with Frankie making that tackle or making that foul or whatever. Because if you're gonna give Mbappe there, I take my chances rather than that free play. It just ends up scoring there, but I was unfortunate.
Yeah,
But that's
but
the
just
first
like
one.
Footballingo mentioned, like the wall wasn't set up right. It felt like he was going to score because it felt like the space was so open.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
so
yeah.
close as well. So all he had to redo was put it on target. Like if we were to concede a free kick to Rodrigo in the Spanish
Yeah.
Super Cup as well in that same position, I think Frankie still did the right call because I think Mbappe was going to score anyways. At least make it probably 51% a more of a difficult chance for a free kick. I'd probably say that free kick was 51% chance of him missing and 49% him scoring. So I think he still did the right move in the end. He probably knew he was gonna get subbed off anyways. So yeah.
All right.
Nah, to be honest, bro, I thought that honestly, I was kind of. It's one of those that like you think it's the right decision, but then he scores. You know what I'm saying? Like you thought Frankie did the right thing, but then Mbappe, it's off the post. I'm not actually too mad about that goal, to be honest. I'm more mad about the second goal they scored because that is completely preventable, bro. Like it's legit a corner kick, and just be organized and clear the ball. You know, Chesney. I mean, it was down the middle too. He saw it late, but that goal pissed me off more than the actual.
Well, you needed size. So that's the underrated thing about Real Madrid. It's like they have Rudiger there, they have Tchouaméni. These guys
Tchouaméni,
have been
Bellingham,
scoring bangers
Bellingham,
from
all these
corner
guys
kicks.
score.
Arda Guler's arguably one of the best corner kickers you're ever going to be.
Yep.
And
True.
so those are the things. I mean, they're dangerous, and you saw it coming. Every single chance they had, whether that was a free kick, going into the box, you felt it, man. My heart just kept pumping and pumping.
To answer your point very quickly, I think Ancelotti coached a perfect game.
Yes, he did.
To beat Barcelona, right? I know people don't. He's not, of course, one of the best managers, but what he had, his style, his mindset. I think he did everything in his power to win this game to perfection. I think the starting lineup was the best team to go out there to beat Barcelona.
I said this.
All right.
Yeah, you know what's
I
funny?
got some
said
thoughts
this
on that.
to-
So
yeah, I said
do-
this. Miguel, before you continue, I'll say
Yeah.
this, right? To just talk about Ancelotti for a second, I don't blame him. I think he set up well yesterday for Real Madrid. I think in the end, we were just a better team in the day. And it was very close. It could have literally gone either way. I think if you look at the squad he brought, he played the diamond. Like Will said, he said that he should play the diamond. And to be fair, the diamond worked out. He gave them the lead at some point, right? He ended up messing it up. But his substitutions, he brought Ada Güler very early, which is something that, Madrid fans have been complaining about Ancelotti not really giving these guys too much opportunity or bringing them on earlier, right? He reacted quickly. He brought Mbappe in the second half of the second half, the start of the second half. He brought Ada Güler, 5-10 minutes after the second half started, right? So he was quickly reacting to what he was seeing. And listen, it worked out. But in the end, it's just one of those things where I can't put the blame on Ancelotti himself.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? But look, I'll say this, right? We played very well. The goals that we conceded, I think, were preventable, if we're going to be honest, right? I think that, like I mentioned, Mbappe stinks on free kicks, right? He's free, like even the free kick he scored yesterday, if the wall was great, I wasn't even getting past the wall. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying, right? And that's the problem that I had because at the end of the day, he's not good. And the corner, for me, corners is different. I think the corner, is I guess Eunice is living a little bit too harsh because I think that with the corner, it's just one of those things where anything can happen. The right player got to it and he hit it into the back of the net, right?
Yeah, but my thing with the
Barca
corner
boys.
is-
Hold on, Miguel, continue.
Yeah, to Barca boys' point on Ancelotti, having a perfect game. I don't think he had a perfect game. He was a great second half. I said this on the Football Mania thing. I said for Real Madrid to have a great chance of beating Barcelona, and I said this: Arda Güler has to start. Valverde have to play as a right back, and they have to go with the diamond, but with Arda Güler instead of Valverde. And not because I don't want Valverde to be there. It's just mainly because Arda Güler would give a lot more than Rodrigo was going to provide for Real Madrid. So I think had he started this team like this, we would have struggled a little bit more. Maybe we don't have as good of a first half as we did, but who knows what would have happened. But that's neither here nor there. So what I do want to say, though, as far as like the bigger picture for what happened yesterday, like I just freaking love this team, man. Like I just love this freaking team right now. And what I do want to post a question to all you guys, Barca fans. I've been watching Barca for like 30 years. And I do remember the MSN sort of dynasty, right? But last night, to your point, Real Madrid played as good as they could. And I think it's just kind of daunting on them. Like we played as close to a perfect second half, perfect, extra time. We still could not beat them. And you know what? Barcelona did not play their best game. So that is the most promising thing that I see from this team. So have we just started a new era? Is this the new Barca? Dude, Rafinha was not great last night. Also,
No.
if you think about it,
I think Pedri didn't have a good game either yesterday. I don't know if that's a hot take.
Pedri didn't have. If you rank Pedri's top 5 or top 10 performances, even though he scored tomorrow, it wouldn't be one of them.
That was one of his best.
No, I think that's his worst game of the season, to be honest.
The ceiling,
Yes.
the ceiling that this team had. Madrid made something. Barcelona made Barcelona do something yesterday. I have never seen any other team do it in the Hansi Flick, which is sub their core midfield, which is Frankie de Jong and Pedri. When Pedri came out, I understood he was gassed, but it gave me the vibe from Atletico de Madrid when he came out because he was tired, and then Barcelona just lost the game in like the last couple of minutes. I kind of felt that, and the fact that this team was able to go on top of Real Madrid with not even Frankie, not even Pedri, not even Rafinha at their best. This team had been, if the referee crap doesn't happen, this referee is giving us at least 1 or 2 penalties in this game that would have just ended the game. And not only that, I'm missing one thing. Balde. Had Balde been on that first half, we're scoring more than 1 goal. Guaranteed, dude. Guaranteed. Like, this team, I think not only that, but Real Madrid being the defended Champions League, being the defended La Liga, and what we just put on them for the 3rd time in a row, it's giving me those vibes of Real Madrid when they hired, they got Cristiano Ronaldo because Barcelona had just won everything and they needed something to counter what Messi was doing for them. And they just, that fear in their eyes, I'm seeing it right now. I don't know what you guys think about that.
You know what it is?
I'll be first. Hold on, Eunice. Let me go first. Here's the thing. I think that if you look at the past treble teams, right? First of all, I'm not saying this team has done the treble yet, right? We are on course, but we haven't won it yet.
Yeah.
But let's just put this in a hypothetical that we do win the treble this year, right? It's going to be very hard to rank because here's the truth about the last 2 treble to winning teams, right? They didn't just win trebles. It's also the way they won their trebles. The reason why, for me, the MSN treble winning team was so special is because of not only the front 3 that we had and the midfield that we had, right? If you look at our run, especially in Europe that year when we won the Champions League, right? We played City, who were the champions of England, right? We knocked City. We knocked PSG, who were Ligue 1 champions. We knocked Bayern Munich, who were German champions. And then we beat the champions of Juventus in the final. You understand what I'm saying, right? We proved, even Rakitic even said it. He said, if you look at that year when we won the Champions League, we were, like you hear the term Kings of Europe. We proved that year that we were the Kings of Europe because we beat every champion to win that Champions League that season. Like you talk about Champions League, that is the definition of the Champions League. Beat the champions of the champions of the best teams in the league, in the best leagues in the world. And we did that year, right? The 2009 team, that team won everything. And this is the thing. This team could potentially do that because we've already won 2 trophies this season already. You understand what I'm saying, right? We could potentially do a quadruple if we win this year,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not to
Yeah.
mention the Super Cup that will come next year that we will be participating in if we win the Champions League, right? I don't think there'll be a Club World Cup because there is a Club World Cup in the summer. You understand what I'm saying, right? But still, we would have won every single trophy that is available this season
First
and
quadruple in history.
potentially
Without being the best,
That
though,
is my
that's the
point.
thing. We only had one
But this is
transfer,
the thing. But this is
Dani
the thing.
Olmo.
I think this team, and as far as your question is concerned about the dynasty thing, let me tell you what I think. I think if you look at this team, and you and I have talked about this so many times, we have such a young team, right?
Facts.
And this team has been learning together now for a very long time. Got the core of this team, the Yamals, Pedris, the Gavis, even the Dani Olmos, the Fermin Lopez's of the world, right? The Kubashis in the defense, right? We have the core of this team are gonna be here for a long time. So is this a dynasty? I'm not gonna say no. I think that we still do need to go to the transfer window in the summer and deal with some of the holes because there is still holes in this team.
Yeah, not
You understand what I'm
necessarily a
saying, right?
dynasty, but is this the beginning of an era? Is
Yeah,
what I'm
it's the
saying.
beginning.
It's
I
why
think
I
this
want to
is the
ask
beginning.
everyone: Is this the
But
beginning of an era? Because
I
there's a
think
thought
I
that
but,
think
comes to my
but
mind.
it's only the beginning if next season we capitalize on whatever we do this season. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think it
Omar, let me
definitely.
say, can I say something real quick, bro?
Yeah,
I
Go
just want
ahead,
to
man.
say that I feel like that if we want to say era, number one, we have to win a UCL. And I feel like I always said Barcelona. When are we going to say Barcelona are officially back? I feel like we got to win a UCL, number one. And I feel like we need to win back-to-back league titles. It can't be like the Xavi one where we win a league title, then we're trashed the next year, right? We have to win back-to-back league titles and a UCL. And then I can say, you know what? An era might be starting, and Barca, we might be back. You know what I'm saying? Like fully back. Not like, you know what I'm saying, a team that's a bit mediocre, but they're performing above their odds just for, you know what I'm saying, a one-off season. But, bro, once again, I want Hansi Flick to stay here, bro. Like, what he's done with this group of players, like, respect
Oh, of
Xavi. He
course.
did a lot of things. He did a lot of things right, but the way it ended and what he said that he doesn't think that this team can be competitive, bro, next year, nah, bro. Hansi Flick's working legit magic with our
But like
team.
Flick is definitely a manager that is gonna bounce after 2 or 3 seasons. He's gonna do like a Luis Enrique or a Pep. I don't see him staying.
Yeah,
Long.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
it.
First
In regard
season probably is last season. I
in
think.
regards to the dynasty thing, I think the signs are definitely there. Even if you look at our past dynasty, we always had the one star player. You know, whether it be Dino, Leo. Now, I mean, always coming up against the Galacticos of Madrid, the '05 team. Then, of course, the 2009-10 team, and then now this one, the 2025 team. I do think that if we do the treble, I think it will be the best treble we've done for sure. Not only what the team has gone through last season, but also this season as well, and everything kind of before the storyline with it, Flick coming in being new. I think it will trump even Pep's sextuple as well, doing a quadruple, being the first team in history to do a quadruple as well.
Yep.
But it's all fun and games and nice to talk about it, but until it's done, that's where
Until
the
it's done. Exactly.
big
Yeah.
question comes
Yeah,
in.
facts.
I've always said this. I even said it to Omar as well. I think the only team that can beat Barcelona is Madrid, simply on the fact of the rivalry. I'm not saying Madrid are a better team or anything like that. Just based on the rivalry, the big players and stuff like that, what the game means. And I think it's the same way around as well. I think the only team that can beat Madrid when they're at their highest and they're going for everything is Barcelona. So I
Facts.
think the Copa del Rey was kind of the one that I thought that could slip away from us, as we saw in the past. Pep's team in 2011, they lost the Copa del Rey final, last second dagger by Ronaldo. We got our revenge now. Finally, 15 years later, last second dagger by Kunde.
Thankfully, thank God. I could not
The
do
little
three defeats.
10-year-old Barca boy is smiling at this point.
You know what it is? Honestly, what it is, it's just that like I just don't want to say treble until it's official. That's my thing because
No,
I
of
know
course,
we
and that's
want-
the thing. That's why I use hypothetically, and that's why I use the word hypothetically.
Yeah.
Some people
Omar.
can a quick to rush. They can say, "Yeah, if we win the treble this year." I said, "No." This people say, "Yeah, we're gonna win the treble this year," or "Yeah, the treble is definitely in." Obviously, when we're winning, like when we win games, I gas my team up. But
Yeah, facts.
everybody knows this, and people know that when it comes down to it, right? I say things when I'm gassed, but I'll be the first one to tell you until this club do it. Until this club do it, I don't go beyond. I don't sit there and try to say what we're gonna do next season or what plans we have next season. I don't talk about next season. I'm talking about now. You understand what I'm saying? Right
You know
now,
what it is?
we've won 2
It
trophies.
feels
And
like
look,
this is the year, though. Like it kind of
No,
feels
no,
like
no.
this
And it's
team has
true.
so
Because
much
let me
on
tell you
them.
guys, the important thing about winning yesterday for me was, right? I said this last week because you're right, Barca boy. Last week, you were nervous. I even told you, even though I was confident we were going to win, I'm not going in this game thinking that it's a full-gone formality just because it was a full-gone formality the last two times we played them. You understand what I'm saying, right? I did not go with that mindset this time around because I understood this is Madrid and this is Barca. There is no such thing as form. I keep telling people all the time, forget about form, forget about how bad the teams have been playing, whichever team is coming into good form, but forget that because that doesn't exist in El Clasicos, guys. I've seen Barca. When we were under Koeman, the year Messi left, that was one of the worst seasons I've ever watched Barcelona
Horrible.
play football. One of the worst squads I've ever seen in my life.
That first half
We
was
rocked up
clinical,
to the
though.
Bernabeu against a Madrid team that did the double that season. Remember, they won the league and the Champions League that season, right? We went to the Bernabeu that season and we won 4-0. Aubameyang scoring a double against them. You understand what I'm saying, right? Do you think they expected that before we played them? Absolutely not. Many of them were thinking we were going to get battered because we got battered in the first time we played them. You understand what I'm saying? So I was going into this game saying we just need to go there, play our game, but also don't underestimate Real Madrid. And they nearly did, but fair play to the players because Madrid were at their best yesterday. I truly believe so. I think they played at their best. I think that first half was bad, but the second half, they performed well. You understand what I'm saying, right? And that performance in the second half nearly got them the win. But but you know what? This is why I want to give the credit to our players because Madrid played a great game, but we played a great game, and in the end, we got exactly what we deserved.
You know what it is, Omar? That's a great point because I agree. I said, you know what? I can't even make
We got
fun
50
about
people
Real
in here,
Madrid.
man.
Of course,
Appreciate you
of course.
guys. Before you continue,
Yeah, go
we
ahead.
got 50 people in here. Appreciate every single. This is the highest I've ever gotten without being rated, man. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're new, guys. But yeah, continue.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say was that, like, as much as you know what, like, if a Real Madrid fan shameless, you know what I'm saying, I will be shameless back. But the thing is, right? I genuinely believe that I respect Carlo for, you know what, he's gonna leave at the end of the season, but he coached up probably his best game of the season, definitely his best El Clasico. He coached up. He went with the diamond, right? He didn't go with the front three. On top of that, I said you got to play one of Vinny or Mbappe to start. He did that, right? Carlo did everything perfect. Real Madrid played very physical, right? They pressured the ref before the game, right? They got away with it with Dani Olmo just kept kicking away. They legit had everything going their way to at least make this game competitive and tough for Barcelona. But this is the thing. We
They're the best
still
at
won. We still won. And that's why I'm impressed, bro. And honestly, it was a great final, bro. What can I say? That's a classic, by the way. That's going to be known as
No, that is.
that's an instant
You
classic.
know what's funny? This is the reason why, and you know this, Hafed, because we talked about this. This is why we didn't want to see an El Clasico final, because you know if the game yesterday shows you how crazy an El Clasico final in the Champions League would have looked like. It would have
Yeah.
been much worse than this. You understand what I mean? Because I'm gonna be very honest. Watching the game yesterday, I told you, I'm like, bro, this is what you get when you get an El Clasico final. Like, I don't know why anyone is shocked that this is a classic. Like, what did you guys expect? Did you expect one team to be dominant and another team sitting back?
This is-
No, we were both gonna go at each other's necks.
No, but Omar, that's what I was saying. This is an instant classic. This is gonna be known as, I already said it, right? In my reaction, I said it's gonna be known as the Jules Koundé El Clasico. Because at the end of the day, I think Pedri and Lamine will have great classicals in the future and score goals and steal the headlines. But Koundé, I don't know if he's gonna have a better moment here, bro. Genuinely, that was unreal.
This is why
Unreal.
I never want to see a El Clasico Champions League final. I don't think I'll be able
I'm
to
gonna be very
handle it.
honest. After yesterday's match, yeah, keep that away from me. I'm
Keep that
sorry.
one.
I don't think.
Maybe the next
Man
never in my lifetime do I want to see that.
I'm not be very honest. I might not do a watch along because I would just be a nervous wreck.
No.
Dude, Lamine though, like I I don't know where you want to take this show, but
Go ahead.
honestly, I just gotta say this: like Lamine Jamal, it's nothing like I've ever seen before, and it's not, dude. Messi, when he was so young, he had a lot of like traits that you could see that he was gonna be one of the best, like a top player. But what I love about Lamine Jamal is like he's not afraid of the moment. He's not afraid of even posting stuff that can come back to bite him later, like Vinicius Jr., right? Vinicius Jr. is on his prime, and he said that I'm gonna work 10 times harder thing has come to bite him in the ass. And what Lamine Jamal is so underrated that dude, like how he just so poised like that. And then and the one thing I was thinking about Lamine Jamal before the game is like, boy, you gotta go out there and ball. I'm like thinking in my head, like you realize that the attention you bring into yourself with the Neymar haircut, with the pose before the game thing, and like you better go out there and ball, my boy, because people are gonna come at you crazy. Like you know how Barca fans go at Vinicius Jr. for what he said, but he's not afraid of that. And that's just something off the pitch. That's not even talking on the field. And the way that he played last night was just incredible. So clinical, so poised on that right wing, right? So it's 2 assists. Could have had a goal had Courtois and made an amazing save as well. That was perfectly put on like right before that one in the first half. Did you guys see that one where Rudiger made a mistake and just let the ball go? He thought it was wide, and it was like this from going in, bro. It was like this close from going in. Do you guys remember that shot? It's like
I'm not
Courtois
gonna
just
lie.
let the ball go.
I probably
It was
but
it
I'm
was
sorry.
down the right, and he cuts inside.
Was it the
like
one where
this,
he
goal
cut
was
inside
done.
and shoot?
I know
But
you're
he
talking about.
shoots, and Rudiger goes like this, like he doesn't want to put his.
Oh yeah, I think I remember. It's the
And
first
I'm
half,
like,
right?
dude, that was a big mistake from Rudiger. He just let it go, bro. And the ball was this close from going in. Amazing, amazing game. What a player we have. I mean, Jamal, 17 years old, man. What else can you say?
Yo,
Bro, you know what
honestly,
it is,
yo,
right? I'm gonna say this, Eunice, before you continue. Bro,
yeah,
I don't know how we do it as a club, guys. Like there is something. You know what? La Masia needs to be studied, guy. How do we keep doing it every time? Because if you guys know, right? Think about like Barca's history, right? For some reason, either when we buy players or we get players from the academy. But it seems like every era, we always have that one magician in the team. Every single era, we've had one. Like, bro, every generation, you think we will never see a player like this again. Or we will never see a player around this level ever again. Right? Let's just enjoy him. And then out of nowhere. Like, firstly, it was like you think about it, we've seen Maradona, we've seen Cruyff, we've seen BarcaVolume. You've been watching football longer than all of us here, right? You've
30
seen
years,
the different kinds of magicians this club has had, right? When we had Ronaldinho, I never thought in my life I would ever see another player like Ronaldinho at this club again. And first of all, and let me be clear, I don't think I've ever seen a player like Ronaldinho at my club, right? Because Ronaldinho was a true highlight reel. He's my favorite player of all time, and that will never change. You understand what I'm saying, right? But then I saw Messi, and then Messi was insane. Messi was insane. Bro, the records that this brother was breaking, the way this brother made football look so easy, he just sat there like, brother, we will never see another footballer like this. And I don't think we still will. But if you had told me in 2021 when Messi left, don't worry, bro. In 2 years, you will replace, you'll find a player near Messi's level. I'll be like, nah, fuck no. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. Nah, bro. I will never see anything like this, bro. Bro, I don't know how we do it. I don't know how we do it because it doesn't make sense. You see Madrid going around buying these players that they have who turn out to be superstars. Most of the time, our superstars, either we get them for cheap or we just produce them from our academy. And these guys are just and these guys are just insane. Like I've gotten to a point now where I'm just like, bro, after Yamal leaves, we're just gonna make another one. It's crazy.
yeah,
You just know we will.
Nah,
Because
but Omar,
it's truly wonderful, man.
Omar,
Yeah,
I
go
want to
ahead.
say this, bro. This guy, Lamine Yamal, bro. Like, I genuinely, right? How many times? Is he
Before you continue, big
Yeah.
up to my guy here. Big up to Cisse. Big up to you, my friend. Make sure you guys subscribe. All of these guys' channels you see here, their channel information is in the description, guys. Make sure you guys go subscribe to every single one of these guys. But yeah, continue.
Yeah,
Jonas.
but listen, bro, Lamine Yamal, how many times does this guy go on Instagram and he tells people that he's gonna put on a show and he does it again, right? At first I was thinking, the Euros, don't do this, Lamine. And then he shut me up with the goal against France.
I
But
know.
how
I
many
know.
times has he done it this season? He's probably done it, 3 or 4 times this season. And he turns up. And let's be real, Lamine did not even have his best game. But in the big moments, that pass to Ferran was out of nothing, right? Like we were saying. the weight of the pass. You know why Lamine Yamal is
I
special?
thought he had a good game, bro. I thought it was one of his best games. Honestly,
No,
he
I
was
think he
playing
was
a
too.
lot
I
of
think he was.
defense. He was
But this
playing a
is
lot
the
of
thing,
defense.
Barca volume. This is the thing. I've seen better with Lamine Yamal. I've seen way
You see
better.
what he
That's the
did to
thing.
Vinicius? Vinicius tried to
No, but,
dribble him. He freaking steal the balls from Vinicius and counter, dude. I was like, dude,
Yeah, but this is the thing.
come
This is
on, man. A
I'll be real.
17-year-old doing that.
Bro, this is an average game for Lamine. Just like having, if he has a quiet game, he's gonna have 3 or 4 or 5 moments in games. But the thing with Lamine, right? The reason why I like him the most is because I like his personality. I can't lie. I don't know about you guys, but I like the swagger. I actually like the talk. And I like that he's able to back it up. Even the way that on Instagram, he's got, he posts his drip and all that, bro. I like that. And you know what that reminds me? Neymar, Ronaldinho. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not as humble as Leo Messi, but who cares, bro? He's on our team. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna win.
I think a lot of people have. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
me and Hafez, we know somebody who doesn't like Yamal. But I'll tell you this, right?
What the heck?
Don't worry, he'll be back. But listen, I'll say this, right? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, Yamal can be whoever he wants to be. He can do whatever he wants.
Exactly.
Yo, Mo, I was just saying, Hafe, I was like, yo, we know somebody who definitely doesn't like Yamal, and he doesn't hide that he doesn't like Yamal. We know who he is. But
Nah, bro.
listen, let me tell you this. For me, people, some people, they're different people, man. Like, some people like footballers who are humble and all this stuff. Here's the thing with me. Yamal for me doesn't like the reason for me I didn't like a guy like Vinny is because I think Vinny is one of those guys who when he doesn't get what he wants, i.e., let's say he gets fouled, he throws a temper tantrum and all this stuff. Like at the end of the day, Yamal's personality doesn't bother me at all. You understand what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people actually like the fact that Yamal is, he's outspoken, he believes in himself. You know what I mean, right? He has that mind state, right? It's not people think a lot of people try to compare the way he acts sometimes to Vin. I'm like, bro, it's not the same. It's not even close. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because this Vinny guy, he tries to talk the talk and walk the walk. But the problem with him is when he doesn't get what he wants, he throws tantrums, and that is why people don't like him. You understand what I'm saying, right? You need to.
Well,
You need to
Lamine
be
Yamal
someone.
speaks on the field, dude. After he scores a banger of a goal against Real Madrid, they're chanting racial stuff at him on the sideline. Do you guys see that video? And he just wings at them. That's the different mentality from Lamine Yamal, 17 years old, and Vinicius Jr. Like somebody who can
Okay,
speak on the field.
yeah, but let me ask you just off topic for just a second, right? What do you guys think of what Mark says here? He says Balde is our only threat on the left. Rafinha struggles when Balde doesn't play. He's a real threat on the left, and Rafinha is a beneficiary of Balde. Now, it's funny because I don't know if it was you, Hafe, who said it, or was it Will who said it to me, but he was talking about the importance of Alejandro Balde, right? In that left-hand side, right? That combination. I'm gonna be very honest. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that the Rafinha's form this season has been more to the fact that he has that great combination with Alejandro Balde down in that left hand position? Because we know Balde likes to bump forward and then Rafinha would kind of move into the middle a little bit, try to get the ball and try to cut inside, right? What do you guys think about that? Do you guys believe that? But because I don't know if I believe it 100%, because I don't
Nah, I
think even when
disagree.
Balde has been playing, I think Rafinha in the second half of the season he's really slowed down, right? I don't know, man. What are you guys saying?
Nah, bro, me personally, I disagree, but I know what you're saying. Balde definitely makes Rafinha's job a lot easier. That's for sure, because Balde keeps the natural width, you know what I'm saying? And Rafinha out wide, we've seen under Xavi, that's not his game, right? He needs to be inside, right? But when Balde's not there, Jordan Martin doesn't go as forward as Balde. That's why he has to do a responsibility that he's not as good at. But I think that if you're going to say a beneficiary of Balde, I think that's a bit too much, bro. I'm not going to lie, because I'll say guys like Yamal, how many times we see Yamal, he legit looks for Rafinha, right? And I feel like that Rafinha is benefiting from Yamal's weight of pass because a lot of players are not going to be that consistent with this passing. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, bro, the thing with Rafinha, right? We know he didn't have a good game. Fair enough. But listen, there's still big games left in La Liga, Inter, right? He just got to show up in probably the Inter game. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be real, right? Past couple weeks, he hasn't been on it. But he's been big time, bro. So many big time moments, bro. Benfica, right? Bayern Munich hat trick. I understand he did not play good. He was our worst player, right? I think him and Martin weren't good, but I don't know about but beneficiary to Balde. I think that's a bit too much, bro.
I mean, what are you saying, Hafed, about Rafinha and Balde combination? Do you think that's the combination that helps Balde in that? I'm sorry, Rafinha in that position?
I think they kind of, help each other really. I think one makes the other look stronger than the other. I just think that Rafinha. I just think he had an off game in this particular match. I think we've seen him compete at left wing with their B. Gerard Martin playing at left back, Balde, Hector Fort, whoever it may be. He tends to always, perform 9 times out of 10. Just the one time was what happened last night in the final. There were two instances where he should have scored those the two low driven shots that he had where we were 1-0 up. He should have scored at least one of those. But I think both players help each other. Both players make the other one and help the other one look better. But I think, to be honest, either one of them could perform without the other one in front of them. I think they're just two separate profiles and two separate entities that, sometimes have an off day at the end of the day.
I agree with you, man.
What about
I
you?
think,
Go ahead.
yeah, I agree with Barca, but I think they both take, they both give each other something for the team. Like they both share, right? And you could also argue, like, here's a counter to that comment, right? You could argue that because Rafinha drifts inward and leaves pretty much the whole flank to Balde, you could argue that Balde is also a beneficiary of Rafinha because when Rafinha is so good at running at those half space between the left back or the right back and the center backs, right? Because he's looking for other balls also. He's looking for balls from Pedri. He's making a run. Looking for when Lamine has the ball, he's making the run. When Balde has the ball, he's making a run. So I think there's a give and take. But to say that Rafinha is only the beneficiary of Balde, I think that's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So I think that when the team is at full strength, it's easier on everyone. So if you have Balde going down the flank, you also have Rafinha. He can move a lot more, do more. But when you have a player like Gerard Martin, who is more of a defensive player, then of course he can have more things that Rafinha will need to do. But don't forget, Rafinha moves around when things are not going well. He's not afraid to go on the right. He's not afraid to go center, and he has scored goals. Remember that last minute dagger that he scored against Benfica? That was down the right because I think Flick had taken Lamine out, and he was down the right. So you can't say that because of Balde, because of this. I personally think that. And this is just me being, it's my opinion. I'm, just want to be honest.
No, go ahead.
I think Rafinha and the Ballon d'Or talks are getting to him because I feel like he's a tick sooner on like every play. He wants to pass a couple of seconds before he needs to pass. He wants to shoot before he can control the ball. In a few chances that he had in the Real Madrid game, he could have passed to Lamine Yamal down the right. Rather, takes a shot. And I think he wants to keep scoring. He wants to be part of the big moments.
Listen, I mean,
I think
you can't hope get the better of you in that situation. And I feel like Rafinha right now, it could be something kind of a mix between the two, or he's just not come in these big moments like as he has been in the few months or few games before. And I just kind of feels like a little, like, I don't know if he has a pressure in his shoulder or some sort of like a mentality where he feels like he needs to go out and just score in every single play.
yeah,
I mean, what are you guys saying to that? I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a very interesting question to ask,
He just
really,
looked
because
anxious in this Clásico. Like, he just looked like he wanted to score, and the angles weren't really there. There was more to do on that play, or those crosses that he was making in the Clásico. Like, too soon. Sometimes he needed to attack the left a little bit more and just kind of go and make it maybe make like a diagonal cross or something different. But he just wants to like score now, assist now, like just let the play develop. And I think he just needs to be a little bit more patient.
I'm gonna be very honest with you on that point, right? I don't know what's happened to Rafinha recently, because I feel like the best thing about Rafinha this season, and the reason why he's got such a great amount of GA, it's his decision making. You understand what I'm saying, right? It's his decision making that massively improved this season, right? He knew when to shoot, he knew when to pass, he knew when to cross, he knew when to cut inside, he knew when to went to his left, to his right. You understand what I'm saying, right? Everything looked like it was always planned and meticulous. You understand what I'm saying, right? Recently, that has been his problem. I feel like he's kind of gone back to the things that we were kind of questioning about him last season, where we feel like his decision making was lacking. You understand what I'm saying, right? He wasn't shooting when he needed to shoot. He wasn't looking out, raising his head to find who was in the box when he needed to. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Mhm.
Because even yesterday, I feel like he had a lot of great chances, and the guy that we saw in the first half of the season would have bagged those. He would have absolutely kicked with those. You understand what I'm saying, right? But I don't know. I feel like maybe the pressure is kind of getting to him because he's got a high amount of GA. I feel like right now at this point, he's just trying to basically increase his stats to kind of increase his stock in the Ballon d'Or. You understand what I'm saying? But the thing is,
He
I think
also took
regardless
that
of
goal from
whatever
Kovarsi.
happens,
That made me think a little bit. Like I was like a little bit
yeah,
of eye opening. That one goal from Kovarsi. That kind of the reason why I'm going where I'm going with this.
You
no,
know
I
what it
get
is
that.
though. You know what it is? I just think that I don't know if it's I don't know about the pressure games. Like I don't think about that because like remember guys, like he scored like last week a last minute penalty. So I don't think that he's feeling pressure. But I know what you're kind of saying. He's doing something like you're kind of right in that like he's kind of panicking a little bit more because he. I feel like the Ballon d'Or thing it might be happening, but I think it's still too early to say it, bro. Like I want to see maybe next 3 games how he plays. You know what I'm saying? I still think it's too early.
100%. 100%. I mean, we're definitely gonna get into. I mean, listen. I'll be honest. I'm with Mark here. I'm very honest. I think out of all the players in the current team, you know what it is. The stock of the Ballon d'Or has kind of fell off a little bit. It has definitely fallen off this year. I feel like this year there's not a lot of good contenders. Right? There's some teams. I feel like we have contenders, but I feel like more of them is more to do with the GA and everything.
You know
Right?
why?
Because for me, I've already said for me, I think this guy should definitely be in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or this year because he has been
Agree.
one of, if not our key to everything that's been running this season. That's the thing with he doesn't get the goals and assists, but let's be real. We watch Barca every week. You understand what I'm saying, right? And because we watch, we know what this guy brings to the team. We know that if we lose this guy, we are not going to be as good as we are this season.
No.
You understand what I'm saying? But he's not the guy who gets the assist. He's not the guy that gets the goals. You understand what I'm saying, right? So his contribution is not going to be noticed, which is unfortunate. It's really sad to really say, but that is really the way it is, right? But listen, I do want to talk about this, right? Very quickly. Obviously, guys, we're all happy about the victory, right? But I really want to ask you guys, seeing yesterday the way Madrid reacted, right? You saw in the end of the game after it was 2-1, right? Obviously, Ari Garcia went down too easy. Listen, it's part of the game. It's sports. It's sportsmanship. Let's be clear. It's not like Madrid. Like we all know, Madrid. If the shoe was on the other foot, you know that those Madridistas would have done the same thing, right? They're just mad because they're the victims of it. But for me, the reason I wanted to talk to you guys was more to do with the reaction from players like Rudiger. Like first of all, he threw an ice pack on the pitch. I don't know why you thought that you could do that and then you would not get sent off. I don't know what he was thinking. I mean, no, I mean obviously Vasquez was also sent off, and so was Bellingham. Do you guys think that Rudiger should get a long-term ban for that?
Yes.
A long
Yes.
ban for that?
Absolutely. Gotta send a message.
Yeah, you have to actually. Like it's not even a joke because I mean like I'm legit. Actually, I was gonna listen, bro. Basically, regardless, Rudiger, you cannot do that. Basically, you can't do that. It's elite sport, right? You remember, this is not just a game you're playing pickup. Number one, you're getting paid by Real Madrid. You're a professional athlete. The image of Real Madrid. You can't do that. Imagine Ronaldo Araujo when he got sent off by PSG. Imagine he didn't leave the field. Because imagine he dead serious didn't leave the field and he wanted to fight the ref. Because Rudiger, his reaction, he actually crashed out. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was gonna go to the ref, walk to him, and knock him out. Because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, Rudiger, he deserves a ban. I think they said 4 to 12 games. I'll be real. Give him like 6 games. I'm being real because you have to set a precedent. You know, I know their season's over, but you can't do that, bro. Like actually, then more
No.
players will be like, you know what? He only got a 6-game ban. You know what I'm saying? Or no, he didn't get a ban. He got a 2-game ban. I'm gonna do that. It's a cup final. Who cares? There's no tomorrow. You can't do
And
that,
you know
bro.
what's the worst thing about this team? And this is obviously to all of you guys, right? If you guys remember last season, we were the ones that were victims of referee injustice last season, right?
Yeah.
We were. Even Xavi was calling this out. And it's ironic how last season, when we were calling out the referees, they told us to stop crying. They said that we were complaining, we were making excuses and everything. But you know what's funny about us when we were complaining? All we did was complain. We did not threaten that we were going to leave the league. We did not threaten we were going to forfeit games. And we damn sure didn't try to assault the referee throughout the games, right? I've seen Madrid this season countless times. And this is the worst thing about this Madrid team, right? The reason why I feel like this current Madrid squad is so unlikable is the fact that not only are they arrogant, which Madrid are usually arrogant, right? But it's the level of entitlement, I think, that there's a level of entitlement that I don't understand about this current Madrid squad, right? Because they've won so much recently, there's a level of entitlement that they feel that if they don't get what they want, they have every right to react the way they want. We saw it at the start of the season, right? They all expected the Ballon d'Or to go to their golden boy. You understand what I'm saying, right? That was all the talk, right? Then they found out that the Ballon d'Or wasn't going to Vinny. Then they spoiled the whole thing. They spoiled the whole thing by letting everyone know that Vinny didn't win the Ballon d'Or, that Rodri won it, right? As a result, all of us, before the award ceremony even started, already knew Rodri was going to win the Ballon d'Or. You understand what I'm saying? We basically killed the mood. And then these guys didn't even have this decency to go to the award ceremony because their golden boy didn't win it.
Hey Omar,
You
I got
understand
something
what
to
I'm
say
saying?
about them.
Hold on.
You know,
Let me finish.
Go
Let me
ahead.
finish because I really want to name all of it. I don't want to forget anything, right? Then to make it worse, they start complaining about the referees, right? Which we were doing last season, right? And it's funny because when you remember Hafed, because you do a lot of this news digging, right? You know, last season when we were complaining, when Xavi was complaining about the referee, what did Ancelotti say? He said they would not stoop to that level. Do you remember when they said that last season? They think that we don't keep their like, bro. We have their quotes. We save these quotes because we always know they will come to bite them. And it's ironic how this season, not only did they stoop to our level, no, we did not stoop to their level actually, because they went below. They are not only complaining about referees. These guys had the nerve to say, if we play more than three days before a Champions League game, we were not turning up. That's what they said, right? And then we saw what happened yesterday with Rudiger. Are we all going to pretend like we did not see Vinicius do this in the league against Valencia? Do you remember when he tried to assault the referee in that game too? Like, bro, I don't understand what is wrong with this current Madrid squad, but they are so entitled. It's actually embarrassing just how entitled this club is, right? Because it's one thing thinking that you're unfairly being treated. It's when you are thinking that you are above the law or above the rules. Like, it's embarrassing. I mean, what do you guys say? I mean, we already know Madrid is an arrogant club, but how do you guys feel about watching the crash out of this club this season, man?
You know, I wanted to say this, bro. It's just that, like, genuinely, I feel like that, you know what? You learn more about people's character when they actually lose. Like Barcelona last year, let's not lie, we lost to them 3 times. One of them in embarrassing fashion, right? In the Spanish Super Cup 4-1, right? And we lost 3-2 2 times to Jude Bellingham winners, or what? One of them was 2-1. Same thing, Bellingham winners last second. But I remember in the 4-1 or any of that, right? Guys, we did not complain. We did not crash out like this. Rudiger, Vinicius, these guys, they keep crashing. Even Lucas Vasquez got sent off, matter of fact. You know, Bellingham, complain about the refs. You know what it is? It's forget entitlement, bro. These guys, the Real Madrid is above Ancelotti. I think Perez has allowed this, genuinely, because you cannot allow your players to say some of these things. You know what I'm saying? Bellingham was crying about every decision. Buddy, in my opinion, the ref was honestly for you. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Right? And then we had Rudiger. Obviously, you can't do that. And you know what that tells me? There's a lack of discipline at that club. You know what? They might win, right? But there's no discipline. And you see it when they lose, bro. You genuinely see it when they lose. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's embarrassing. It
Because
really is embarrassing.
Omar, bro, a manager who has the dressing room, or even a president like Perez, you don't allow Rudiger. You know, best believe if under Hansi Flick, brother. If let's just say like Mark Casado or even like Araujo, you can't crash out like that. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
You can't
so
do
my
that.
my thoughts on it's like, I mean, Barcelona has Real Madrid in shambles, man. That's the only thing I can say, and it all comes down to it starts with the front office, right? So to me, I think it all starts from the front office, and when you have a Real Madrid TV feeding the players that the whole system is rigged against them, the whole system, the referees, the this, then that, and when things are not going right for them, and it was not only to me, it was so telling that Barcelona just broke them. Like as a team, as an institution, the way they came out and said we're not playing, that looked like they were afraid to play the game, and then the never
Yes.
mind, we're still playing. That looks so childish and so like spoiled brats, and they want to play under their rules, under whatever they want. They want to get their way in every single angle. They want to push the needle. They want to push the envelope to the extreme, and it worked because the referee was actually on their side. Barcelona didn't get a good whistle, and I thought that Eric Garcia was like, "Oh my God, thank you for that whistle because finally we get something going our way," and everything was going their way. And guess what? Why are they losing their minds, bro? The
I
Ferran
think the
Torres
referee had a great
penalty,
game yesterday.
like what the hell? The red card from Chouameni, the referee was on their side and they were losing their minds. Like this isn't a case of like, you know how Madrid fans they call us cheaters and this and that because of that the Didier Drogba, that when he was complaining like he wanted to leave
Listen,
the
they
field or
can say
whatever.
whatever they
This
want.
isn't this isn't something like that. This is something like so dumb where everything was going their way. It was so clear that the referee was on their side, and somehow, some way, and they got it into their heads that the referee was against them when it was really the other way around. That was just complete shambles to me. That means that Barcelona playing the way they did, and they know they played their best, and there still wasn't enough that broke him, and that is the reason why Rudiger acted the way he acted. I thought it was so telling, and to me, that's to the extent of the law. So if the rule says 12 games is the maximum, give him 12 games because you have to set a precedent. You cannot allow this. And guess what? It's this is not even the first time that we've seen a Real Madrid player being held by his teammates going towards the referee. Who remembers Vinicius
This
Jr.
season.
doing the exact same thing? And it's just so rotten locker room with this poise inside their hearts that they think that the system is rigged against them, and it's really the other way around. Like there's people that are saying that the referee held Barca yesterday. If you're one of those people who think
No,
that,
let
then
me
you're
tell
not
you this
watching the
before you
game.
continue.
What are you talking
Let me
about?
tell you this. Let me tell you this right now, right? I don't think the referee was bad at all. I don't even think the referee did any bad decisions against us. I think the penalties he didn't give away should have been given. I don't think the Rafinha penalty was given. Should have been
Mm,
given. To be honest, I'm a very objective guy. You guys know this, right? I don't think that should have been a pen, right? I think the referee, if you look at the pressure that they put him through, because they did try to put him under pressure. But listen, I think he handled it well. He gave the right cards. He wasn't intimidated. He gave guys like Ancelotti when they were trying to bark too much a yellow card. He wasn't afraid. He wasn't intimidated because he
he
knew
was afraid
no matter
afraid to
what
give
I do,
Chouameni the red card. No?
they're going to put me at the top of their list if they lose. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to referee how I was going to referee before the start of the game. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So I think the referee handled himself well, right? Madrid can cry all they want. We all know when they don't win, they cry. They blame anyone. They blame everything. Like they will find a way to blame anything apart from themselves. So they can do whatever they want. You understand what I'm saying? But football lingo, what do you think? Because I've heard what Jonas and Mega had to say. What do you think of
I
that?
kind of agree with Barca volume. I think the referee was more lenient towards Real Madrid because the Chouameni tackle I've said before. I was surprised that it wasn't red card. I thought it was a red card for sure for him. And the fact that he scored later on, it just made me even more frustrated with him. And also, like, I think it was a later stages of the game when Rudiger made that tackle on Ferran Torres. I thought that was a definite pen. We didn't get that. Danny Ceballos was pulling on Kubarsi. That was in the first half. I thought that was a pen, or like at
Mm.
least a review. The fact that it didn't even go to the review is what
Wow.
bothered me.
The
Yeah,
Kubarsi,
bro.
dude.
Like, you
That's
know
a
what
I
it
fact.
can see
is?
the lineman going like this, looking at the play. When you look in a slow motion, the Kubarsi play where he got held by his shirt. It's so easy to see someone pulling down your shirt,
That's what I'm
especially
saying.
and then when I saw it in slow motion, I'm literally watching behind Kubarsi, and who was the player who was holding him? It was that Lucas
Ceballos.
Ceballos, and you can see the referee looking like this at the play, and it's like literally in front of you, and you don't say anything. Like, and not only that, you see the ball that Kubarsi easily could have gotten to had
Just this
not
much.
been held. And I'm like, dude, you're right there. That's the whole point. If the referee in the middle of the field is not looking at it and is not seeing it, you're like looking in front of you, dude. Like it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe it, dude. Like it was so
You know what it
crazy.
is? Bro, let's just say what it is, bro. You know what it is? People are kind of scared to call out this behavior from Real Madrid because it's Real Madrid. Let's be real. Because you know what, Omar and everybody else, let's be real. If it was
Mm.
Barca, if it was Arsenal, if it was Chelsea, they would have got, the proper criticism. But because it's Real Madrid, because, what I'm saying, they do have a big fan base, they got Perez, right? They think that they can get away with it. But honestly, that was unacceptable. Some of the things that I was seeing, right. Bro, me personally, I don't like to talk about refs. I always say that. I feel like overcome it all the time, right? I was saying Xavi last year, overcome it, bro. Stop talking about the refs. It's showing signs of weakness. When you call the refs, if you're gonna call them out one or two times, fair enough. But Ancelotti, time and time again, calls out the ref, and they want this game called off unless there is a change. You know what that tells me? That tells me fear. I'll be real. That's what it tells me because they said under that ref, basically, there's no chance we beat Barcelona. And you know what? They played their best game possible and they still didn't beat us. That's the reality. So you know what? I'm actually even more confident for that El Clasico, right? As long as we don't get injuries or things, what I'm saying, don't go sideways versus Inter, I'm confident for that last El Clasico. I can't lie to you guys because this Madrid team are broken, bro. Barca, I've already said it. They're broken, right?
Yeah.
That was the only thing they had. They threw everything in the media, every type of, blood, sweat, and tears into that game, and they still lost. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, the game's the game. And, bro, listen, I mean, season's not over. That was one trophy. It's crazy. It's a big trophy, but unbelievable, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100%. But I just want to say this, right, before we do get out of here. I quickly want to talk about, obviously, we're all happy right now, but, the games don't stop. We will be back in 3 days in the Champions League, right? The next trophy that is in line, right? Inter Milan on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Inter Milan, I'm not going to lie, have been looking hella bad the past few weeks.
Hey,
Like, bro,
hey,
they haven't scored a goal in the past
three
three
games.
games, and they've conceded like five. They conceded three to AC Milan in the Super Cup, Italian Super Cup. They lost to Bologna last week, and they just lost to Roma this morning. And not only that, Marcos Thuram is out for the Barca game, and now Benjamin Pavard is
Yeah.
out today because I was watching their game today, right? Pavard is also out. Like, they have problems. And look, I'm gonna be very honest. This is probably the best time. This is literally the best time to play them. They look so vulnerable right now. We have to get a win. And not only a win, I want us to go out there and get a big win. You
At
understand what I'm
least
saying?
two
A
goals.
comfortable win that can give us a little bit as fans. We will not go to the second leg on edge. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want to go with like a 1 goal lead and think going on being on edge thinking, oh yeah, if they get a goal, that's it. The match is back on. Right? I want to
Yeah.
go there with a little bit of like, we got a 2 goal lead. We
Yeah.
have a 3 goal
Like the
lead.
Dortmund
So
game.
Yeah, so to me, the way I look at this game is the first thing I want to say is it's crazy to me how we're playing the second leg away from home when we were ahead for the second series in a row, which is crazy to me. That Barcelona was a second place and Barca should have a home field the second leg, especially after playing Borussia Dortmund like the other way around on the other legs, which
Yep.
just don't make any sense. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So as far as the game, I do think it's a matchup thing. I think it's important to see what the teams are doing at the time. Like for example, they haven't won the last couple of games or 3 games or whatever. They lost a couple of players, which is quite important. Another thing that's important about this game is that they actually played the game. They were thinking about suspending it because Pope Francis had passed away or whatnot. They were gonna they were gonna cancel that game, and that was gonna be huge for Inter because they would have gotten 7 days off had they not played that game, and then they decided to play that game, which was huge for Barca as well. I don't know if you guys knew this, but that was huge for Barca because they were thinking about not playing, suspending all the sport activities or whatnot. And
we could have had more time.
Yeah, so that was huge that they played because now we play, they play, and they played a day later, so they get one less day off as well because Barcelona will get they played overtime, but they'll get one more day off, which is huge, and they play at home, which is huge. So because of all those things, it's more important that Barcelona wins this game at least 1 or 2-0 because going back to Giuseppe Meazza, right? That's what we're going to be playing in the second leg. That's not going to be easy. There's going to be a hostile environment. They're going to park the bus. God forbid if they beat us here, they're just going to park the bus, and they're really good at that. So even though a few players are not there, Lautaro Martinez, they still have a really good team, but and a good defense as well. So the one thing I'm not as confident about that they haven't scored a game is that we don't play the defensive schemes that these teams of Italy that have played, like Milan, they have played like Roma, they play Bologna. These teams have really tough defenses, and as Barcelona will take a lot of risk and will leave a lot of chances as well there to be taken, as far as Lautaro Martinez coming in transition and things like that. But this is a really important game that I wish Barcelona would play the second leg at home and kind of bounce off of the first game, because we just had a big emotional game, and I feel like there's a thing in betting. And sports bettors and professional bettors, they like betting against a team that just played an emotional game, the sort of the game that Barca just played against Real Madrid, right? For some reason, or whatever reason that is, take it for what it's worth. They think that a lot of teams are not going to perform as well the next game because of that whole emotion is still is still behind you. But I hope that that's in effect the game. But we are going to be a little bit tired as well for playing that overtime. But I still expect Barcelona to be able to win this game at home.
Because they play. Because we had, to be fair, we played yesterday. They played today, so they're also not going to come into this game 100%. You understand what I'm saying? Because they're on that.
They were tired too.
I mean, that's the thing. They look tired.
Bro,
so
how long is Marcus Thuram out for? You guys know?
I think he's fighting for the second leg to be back.
Okay.
And I think it's the same thing for Balde, right? He's doubtful, but we don't know if he's going to play or not.
Yeah.
If Balde plays his game, if Balde plays his game, I think we're good. I mean,
I think next weekend I think after the Champions League game, I think next week they should be back in training. Now, whether they'll be in the second leg is another story. Yeah. But I think they'll be back after the second leg. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe the league game, because I think we play Real Madrid next week. Oh. No, I know we're playing Valladolid. We're playing Valladolid next week.
We play Real Madrid once the semis are over.
After the second leg. So we
play Real Madrid after the second leg. Yes. Yes. And you know what? I just think that we might have caught Inter at the best moment, but that doesn't mean anything. We have to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? In that first leg, I'm looking at minimum, let's beat them by at least 2. You know what I'm saying? If it's a 3-1 scenario, so be it. You know what I'm saying? That's better than a 2-1. I would love a 3-goal margin. I would feel very confident, but I'm saying at least 2-goal margin. You know what I'm saying? And taking it to the second leg, Inter Milan, they haven't scored in a while, right? As long as the high line is intact, right? The chemistry is there. I think we should do all right. You know what I'm saying? It's real, bro. Listen, I said that. Let's be real, Omar, right? Bro, our path to the UCL semis, I know I'm a Barca fan, but it has been favorable. I'll be real. Benfica, that team was not good offensively or defensively. Let's be real. Dortmund, they gave us a scare, but I feel like we're still the better team. Let's be real, right? And then now it's Inter. This is our first team that people are actually betting against us. So a lot of people still, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, can this Barca team at least do one challenge in the UCL, like win a 50-50, you know what I'm saying, maybe a 60-40 right now type of tie? We have to do it, right? And, bro, listen, at the end of the day, the players got to show up, bro. There's really nothing I can add.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that they're poor. I think they're poor right now. And listen, I'm not going into this game saying, oh, Madrid. I think they look vulnerable and they've shown weakness. I hope, if anything, the fact that they've lost the last 3 games, Hansi Flick has been studying the past 3 games. You understand? To see how, the defensive weaknesses of the team and how their league goes. And we should try to take advantage of that. That's what I think we should do. Now, I'm not going to this game saying, oh, yes, a foregone formality. There's no foregone formalities in football. You understand what I'm saying, right? Anything can happen. Like, teams lose form. Teams can easily return to form. And nobody knows when they will get that first win to come back into form. I'm just hoping that is after we've beaten them, right? Let's say after they've lost and they added the Champions League because they've already lost, they added the Copa Italia. Now they can just focus on the league. Let's say we beat them like 3-4-0 or something like that, I think in the second leg, they're probably going to think, you know what? This tie is over. You understand what I'm saying, right? We are in a title race with Napoli. Let's just focus on that. You understand what I'm saying? For the second leg.
Yeah, so, and Omar, listen, bro. You said something very good right now, bro, to end it off, bro. Napoli, they won their game. Legit, they won their game that they just played like 2 hours ago or something, which means Inter Milan, I do not think they can rest the midweek game where we have Valladolid, where we still shouldn't rest, but I think we're going to do a half rotation where it's going to be half the squad plays, you know what I'm saying? Half the squad doesn't, right? It's going to be like a 5-5 type of thing, right? For rotation. Inter Milan, I don't know if they can do that because now they're 3 points behind Napoli. So it's not
they have a game in hand, though, right?
No. The game in hand's over now. Like they're legit have
that
3
today?
points behind. Yeah, they're 3 points behind now. Just after the game in hand, games are even. So I don't know if they can fully rest, bro. So hey, that's a big thing for Barca because if it was like a PSG that were playing in the semis, right, they would have just rested their whole team. Right, so I think it's a little bit more even. But listen, big weeks ahead, bro. Omar, this is why I said the treble is so hard because I always say we're on for a treble. I never say we're gonna win the treble because I hope we do, obviously. But it's like, you know how hard a treble is? You have to be perfect down the stretch, the last 20 games of a season, where it's quarters, semis, final, right? Copa del Rey final, right? La Liga, you have to realistically, if we don't win our next 3 La Liga games, we're probably gonna win the title. So it's just tough, though. You know what I'm saying? To remain perfect. Like, look at Man City. There's a reason all those good Pep Guardiola teams the last 8 years or something like that, he only has 1 treble, even though he has some amazing stacked rosters, right? There's a reason we only have 2 in our amazing history. So listen, man, I hope we do it. But that Inter Milan, that's going to be tight. Do not think it's going to be easy. They're going to sit back.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be the hardest thing. I think that when we play Inter Milan, especially at home, right, I think it's going to be really, really, really important that we don't concede first because if Inter Milan score, right, then they're just going to recoup and just absorb all the pressure and it will be really, really difficult for us to score. I think that, going to San Siro with at least 2-goal cushion is a perfect way to go about it. And they'll have 2 things to worry about, like you say, Jonas, the Serie A game after they face Barcelona. And then following that, they're going to face Barcelona at home. So they're going to have to think about how they're going to play should we beat them comfortably in the first leg.
No, yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So very quickly, I want to ask you all predictions in scorelines for the game. I'm going to start with you, Footballingo. What are you saying against Inter? What do you see the scoreline being in the game?
I said pretty much the same thing against Madrid, but I think Inter will be a little bit more tough to break down because they do have their defensive prowess, So I think it'll be, I'm going to go with 2-1 to Barca.
2-1. All right.
2-1. What are you saying, Jonas? That's super realistic. You know what? I was going to say 2-1 also, but just the way Inter have fallen and they picked up injuries, I'm going to say 3-1, just about, like legit. I think maybe it's a 2-1 game, we just nick it, something like that. I'm going to say 3-1.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't done my preview yet. I'm gonna definitely do it soon, but I'm gonna go 2-0. Like I want to see us go like 2 or 3-0, right? Let's just open a gap. That way, in the second leg, if they try to go for it, we can try to hit them on the counter. Now I know we didn't try to do that against Dortmund, but I feel like if we have a 2 goal lead, the players will not be too relaxed in the second leg. You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
They'll
yeah.
realize, okay, we can't let these guys even score one because if they score one, that's gonna the stadium is gonna go nuts. You understand
Hey,
what I'm saying, right? The stadium is gonna be on their ear. So we
Yeah.
need to make sure if they go forward and they try to get a goal, we hit them on the counter and try to kill them. Because once we get that first goal
Yeah,
in the
that's the
second leg,
thing.
let's say we get the first goal, the game will be over.
Yeah, once we score, if we get the first goal, right, that will force Inter Milan to come out and play and get that equalizer, and that will just open them up even more. So I think
yeah,
that will
bro.
give us more opportunity.
Nah,
Mm.
real talk though, if we have the chance to batter them, please batter them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
yeah,
do what we did the first leg of Dortmund. Like if there's chances on the table, Rafinha, by the way, all eyes on Rafinha, right? Hey, I'm telling you, we got through that classical without you, to be honest, right? The past couple games, you were clutch against Celta. I'll big you up. You know what I'm saying? For Celta, pressure penalty. But I'm gonna need you
Mhm.
in these 2 games against Inter. I'm gonna need some Rafinha. I might need a brace. So listen, I hope it happens, but genuinely, bro, I think some of like I'll guarantee it. Pedri and Lamine Yamal, those 2 guys are gonna
Mhm.
show up, bro. They're too good not to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I like the fact that we rested Pedri in the last game for sure. But yeah, Rafinha, man, this is your moment to shine because you were poor in the last game. But yeah, listen, we're gonna be closing now. Obviously, football lingo. Tell the people what's coming up on your channel, what you got planned for the week, and all that good stuff.
yeah, man. So I'll be doing a match review. If I have time, I'll do a preview for the Inter Milan game also. If not, look out for the match review after the game.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead. What is coming up on your channel, Jonas?
Bro, I legit, guys, I got a video coming up legit in like 20 minutes. Bro, legit, like it's gonna be just another more talk on the El Clasico, other things. When you after the game, it's an instant reaction. Sometimes it's emotional. And now it's like more sit down, you know what I'm saying? What happened? I'm about to post that legit 15, 20 minutes. And then also I just scheduled Monday, tomorrow, around this time, we're gonna be starting with Barca volume. It's just gonna be me and him. We're probably just gonna be chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Talking Barca about, of course, this game that just happened, the Copa Del Rey and the Inter games. But listen, a lot of content from Omar, BYT, Footballingo. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the community. So just stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Listen, man, make sure you guys go subscribe to both of these guys. Links to their channels are in the description. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Barcelona Volumes channel as well. Make sure you guys go subscribe to him. Make sure you guys subscribe to Barcaboy 103, man. Appreciate every single one of you guys. It says we need a preview with Inter content creator. Yeah, listen, man. I had something planned with Footy George Moore, but he's been busy all week, man. But you'll probably see something next week. So keep that in mind, okay? We'll definitely have a show. We'll definitely have something planned next week. I'll definitely do a match preview for the first leg. It'll probably be with only on my own, but I'll do one probably for the second leg with someone else. But listen, guys, big up to every single one of you guys. Listen, man, you guys in the chat, you guys have been incredible, man. We got to some point we had like over 60 people watching. This is insane. This is like I don't do numbers like this when I don't get rated. So the fact that you guys are here, you guys are supporting. If you're new, I see a lot of new faces. I see a lot of new people in the chat. Big up to every single one of you guys. If you're not subscribed, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, and make sure you guys turn on notifications, guys. Because remember, listen, I'm always doing these shows every week, man. Like obviously this show is every Sunday. The Culers Culture Show is every Sunday. You're gonna be seeing all these guys turning up. We're gonna be seeing more Barca content creators maybe in the future also joining. Obviously buying shows on Wednesdays. I will be doing a match preview and Champions League prediction tomorrow, guys. So for those of you guys who are wondering my predictions for the Arsenal PSG game, I'll be doing all of that too. I'll be doing my match preview tomorrow as well. It will be coming out. So I'll go into detail of what I think is going to happen in that game. And obviously, watch along on Wednesday. There will be a watch along on Wednesday. But big up to every single one of you guys. This stream will be redirecting you guys to Sunshine FC. I think she's still live. She's still live. All right, she's still live. All right, this is going to be redirecting you guys to Sunshine FC, guys. Put Omar BYT rate in the comment section below. Make sure you guys subscribe to all the people in the panel, guys. And yeah, man, like I always say whenever I end these teams, guys, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya. And peace, you guys. Take care. Big up to the chat.